Hi, Sean.
Hey.
Obviously, late drama there, late goal. What did you make of your team's overall performance today?
Very pleased. I suppose from top to bottom, really. You know, the way the team took on the last couple of days' work after obviously a sort of late night down at Fulham. The commitment to the cause is evident, and some of the quality. I think they're a very good side. We know that. They started well and scored a very good goal. You know, we can always pick the bones out of his managers and coach like we do, but from their point, a very good goal. And then that kind of, I don't know, sometimes it gives you a kickstart because we seemed to grip the game then. Went on the front foot, took the game on with a lot more sort of intent, really, rather than kind of sussing out what was going on. I thought we went on the front foot and played very well. And you come in at half time and it just reminded the players, I said, look, that's a really, really good half. You know, I said, so we've got to keep believing in that and keep going into the second half, because sometimes the biggest challenge is, you know, you accept a good half and think, well, we're doing all right, and that gets you nothing. So I said the second half got to be the same, and I thought it was. I thought we kept our levels really high. I mean, I certainly felt we deserved at least an equaliser, if not to take all three, but I thought we did down at their place and we got nothing. So that's sometimes football.
You mentioned there you only had a couple of players for the players to take on, a couple of days, I should say, for the players to take on what you wanted. I guess one of those game plans was to target the goalkeeper on crosses, was it?
No, not necessarily. I've just been asked that previously. We want to be competitive on set pieces all over the pitch. It's not about that. The way that we work, the staff mainly, by the way, I must give them credit because they spend a lot of time, my staff and the analyst team, to make the best chances we can from set pieces. But its delivery is massively important, quite obviously. And the intent and desire to go and score a goal, that's a large part of what we keep drumming into the players. And I think it's evident. I think there is an intent and desire to score a goal, and we do look a threat. Everyone knows that, and rightly so. But no, there's not really that. It's, you know, there's no story there. It's just about the way that we work. We don't always look at the opposition. We're aware of it, of course, but the point is some weeks you maybe give it more time on the opposition, but mostly it's about what we do and focusing on what we do and being a threat, and I think we are a threat, that's for sure.
And finally, Goodison was obviously bouncing at the end. How important are moments like that when you're trying to stay in the division?
Well, you never know until the end of the season, but I think they've seen a team. We took maximum crowd like we do, which is amazing, I think, everywhere in the country, down to Fulham. I thought they saw a side there, stretched to the limit, but giving everything. We had three big chances in the last 3 minutes of that game to win it. So they're seeing a side go to the last breath of a game, which is a big thing with me and the players, which I talk about. And it was on show again today. I thought we were knocking on the door constantly. And then we get our rewards with a very good set-piece delivery and a good finish from Jared. And, you know, I mean, you debate it endlessly, I'm sure, but penalties, we can't get a penalty. I thought there's one on Beto. And then I get booked for a poor decision. I don't know, that's the third time this season. I don't know what that's all about. I get booked for a poor decision. I'm going, everyone in the crowd, everyone in football knows it's a poor decision, and I get booked for it. But anyways, at least in my words.
Sean, would have been so easy for heads to drop after that early goal, but they didn't. Everton responded really well. What do you think it says about your side that they were able to do that and find that way to build momentum and eventually get their way back into the game?
Well, it's something that we've been talking to the players in depth about from the first moment I got here, because the underbelly of a successful side, in my opinion, is not just quality. It's about the connectivity of a side. It's about the belief. It's about the work ethic of a side and the respect and the honesty and the pride in what you do. And I think it's becoming more and more evident with this group. I mean, you know, there's players out there today. Ganner's just got back. He's been travelling. He has 1 day's training. I thought he was excellent. Youngie's coming back from injury. We're having to be careful. I thought he was excellent. Seamus gets on for 20 minutes. Ben Godfrey done very well again. You know, so many good signs of players committed, by the way, to the cause. You know, and I think sometimes that gets overlooked. You know, we're stretched to the limit, but the players are not thinking that. I'm certainly not thinking that. It's just a fact. But I'm not speaking to the players about that. I'm going, lads, this is a side that I believe can win, and you should believe in each other. And I thought that was on show today again, because I thought it was at Fulham. And there's, you know, a good side. They're a really good side as well.
Yeah, you talk about being stretched to the limit. If you look back at this week, obviously, you've had such few options, been so depleted. 2 really good results against good teams, given the adverse circumstances you're operating in. You must look back on this week and feel very pleased with the week's work.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the players deserve a lot of credit. It's another 3-game week. You know, it's a big question over their physicality, and like I said, the risk and reward of keeping players out there, bringing them off, trying to use the squad the best we can. And you've got to win games. So, you know, we're hopeful that bodies will start coming back fit. if not this week, certainly over the next couple of weeks. And obviously we've got the delay after the Man City game, so that gives us a few extra days. So we're hopeful the squad starts coming back together. It is what it is, though. You know, it's one of them things, and the mentality of the players has been really firm and really solid, and I thought a very, very good show of that today.
And just to check, sorry, I'm not sure how to check, but is that 3 yellow cards for you now this season?
Yeah. I don't know. Can they rescind yellow cards? Surely they've got to bring away, because when they look at that, surely they're going to go, that's a bad decision, isn't it?
You're going to appeal it if they do.
Well, it's that thing, isn't it? Like, passionate managers running down the line and that, sliding on their knees. But you're not allowed to show passion when it's a bad decision because you get booked. What's that all about? I don't know. I get confused, all these modern life things. At the end of the day, it's a poor decision. I reacted and I get booked for it. Sometimes you just got to go, you can't book him for that. Surely there's a bit of common sense. You go, all right, we're not saying we're not going to get involved now, but you can't book him for that. But anyways, there lies the reality.
Hi, Sean. Is that character your side that's been shown by your side this season? Is that something you're hoping that's going to carry you through to the remainder of the competition?
I think the character's been there for a long time. I don't think it's about this season. I think we've been working endlessly from when we got it. I think the players have played their part. Trust me, it takes a lot of character to win that last game of the season. That takes a lot of character, especially when you've got injuries all over the place and you're changing the squad. You're playing a right midfielder and a left winger at wing back. That takes a lot of character. So the character's been there. When we add quality and connectivity of the group and how we play, and then you add that and the fans and what they're like, then it just becomes a more powerful version of it. But I never question the character. We've built it as a group. The players have taken ownership of it. They continue to do so. And it paid us back today because there was also some quality, by the way, and the demand and the tactics. But equally, there has to be the right character in the side. And I think it was on show, and I think it has been virtually all season. We've had a couple of times it hasn't, of course. But generally speaking, I've been very happy with the character of the side and the commitment to the cause. And we've got to keep going, of course. We've got to keep doing that.
You needed someone to stand up at the end, and Jared did that for you. Just shows that he's now impacting both ends of the pitch when you need him. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's just him. I think Taki was excellent again today. He always looks a threat on a set piece, but Jared, if he can add goals, that's always full, of course. But yeah, I think his demand, I think the team demand, as I've spoken about, is clear and evident. He's having a very good time of it, and he's enjoying it. And I think we want players, even in the hard yards of football, and it is tough times and it can get awkward and everyone's looking at the league table and then they're looking at these, will we get points back and all that. Sometimes you just need to remind yourself, he's a professional, he's a young man, he's a professional footballer. Fantastic for him, and he looks like a player who's enjoying the challenge.
Sean, was the plan to press Spurs high? It felt like after the opener, Everton got a load of joy doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we want to press and we want to play hard at the pitch. Sometimes it's a strange thing about football. You just, that commitment to doing that is just like sussing things out. And I thought for their first goal particularly, we looked like nearly pressing, and that weird thing that happens when you're not quite there. And then after that, it was like the shackles came off and we went on the full court press, which we wanted to do, of course. They do play out. They very rarely change that. They keep at it. And we nicked it that many times that, you think you've got to get a reward at some point, and we didn't quite do that. We know we've got to continue to look how we can improve that, because we nicked it so many times high up, and the last pass or the last finish is the moment of truth. But it is pleasing when we push these sides, especially good sides like this, when we do push them. We did it ever so well against Man City. I think it was the third highest turnovers in the top third of the pitch. I mean, that's tremendous against sides like that. So, that mentality is an important part of the team, tactically understanding and delivering.
How pleased were you with the impact of the substitute, Lewis Dobbin and others?
Yeah, very pleased. We mentioned before the game, about it's everyone makes a difference, not just the starting 11. Everyone's ready to make a difference, and I thought they did. I thought everyone who got on the pitch today, everyone who played their part. And yet again, it's an important factor. Stubbs just coming on, a bit disgruntled, a bit fed up. You want to come in on activating into the game, and I thought that was a very good sign again.
Can I just check on Danjuma's injury? How long do you expect him to be out for?
Yeah, he's certainly very, very doubtful for next weekend. It needs settling down, so we'll wait and see as the time goes on. But it won't happen for next weekend. I'm pretty clear on that.
You said ankle.
Yeah, ankle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, no problem. Last one.
It's always one.
Check on Ben Godfrey, if that's all right. Did he come off with a little niggle or something?
Oh, no, cramp. Because he obviously hasn't played that much football. Put in a massive shift the other night. Got cramp. But the kind, I'm not a medic, but when your calf just balls up and it won't release. So we had to make a decision there and then. So yeah.
That performance from Ghana in the middle, coming back, I think he travelled back to Senegal first, didn't he, and then to come back.
Yeah, he's had a lot of travelling, and as I said, I thought he did very, very well. Youngie, I thought, was excellent today. You know, so many good signs from the group and just taking it on. You know, I think that is the key. I'd like to think I don't make excuses. I don't ask them of the players. I say, look, this is what it is. That's the reality. When you put the shirt on, when the whistle blows, crack on. You know, no noise about it. We just get on with what we do. And I thought he was a very clear sign of that today, because I thought he was excellent.
Okay, thanks, folks.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.